Hello Internet and welcome to episode 109. This is a Gabe and Abel special. My name is Ace and joining me here today we have history's favourite president, Abraham Lincoln.
In the streets!
In the streets indeed, my good friend. It's quite loud. It's quite obnoxious.
Yeah, well that's me.
It is.
You can't run a country without being loud and obnoxious.
You don't run a country.
I do.
You did.
I run Nintendo Land.
Alright. Yeah, so how are you doing? You alright?
I'm really good, yeah.
Cool.
Feeling good.
Cool.
Yeah.
What you've been up to? We've done quite a bit this week, haven't we? With last week's show with Samantha Youssef. I fucking enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I know I was annoyed that I couldn't be there. I listened to it back and I was like, oh, this is all like Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars geek. Everything you talked about was stuff that obviously means quite a lot to me. So
talk about movement of form and figure drawing for a bit then.
he didn't really talk about that much.
We did.
Yeah, but then you moved on to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I kind of just I let that bitch go over my head.
Okay. Yeah, and we've put a kind of not review but a discussion on YouTube of Mario Party 10.
Mario Kart 10, yeah.
What else have we done? We've done loads of stuff.
Reviewed some cannabis incense.
Yeah, go on YouTube and check out our review for cannabis incense. It's called Talking
bizarre.
Sense.
Talking Sense.
Yeah.
And we've just been doing board games.
Cool.
That's everything.
Right, so the Gabe and Abel show. Yeah, so as you can see, we're both, if you're watching
Wearing our
show,
In the Streets
in the
t-shirts.
streets t-shirts.
Yeah.
So this is the thing where Gabe designed
You
a
should
t-shirt.
have said In the Streets, indeed, my good friend.
It should have just said indeed.
Yeah.
We both designed a t-shirt themed around what Gabe said. This one was in the streets. You can check us
Check us
both drawing
it,
and
yeah.
discussing, like annotating like what we was doing
on YouTube.
on YouTube as well.
Or the website.
Yeah. And if you want all the crap early and all that stuff, nintendosushi.com/Cooper Club, KOOPACLUB.
Support us.
Right. So, where we at? Yeah. So it's Gabe and Abel's show. So
yeah.
You go first. Gabe,
I was gonna
with your.
I was gonna answer your question. All right.
What was the question?
You say what we've been up to. What you've been up to?
What have you been up to?
I directed Romeo and Juliet, and it was on last week, and I was in it very briefly, and that's why I couldn't be there with you lovely people, because it was my show. I'm blinded by that light, by the way. I'm like,
it's alright.
it's like I'm looking at the eclipse all over again.
Good luck. Yeah, we had an eclipse.
We didn't have eclipse. We had a total eclipse of the sun. Right. Okay. I know what my topic is. That's what I was just checking. Okay, my topic is kind of what do you think is going to happen in the future? Now, what I mean by that is a quite broad term. Is like films like Back to the Future and like Waterworld and like Judge Dredd, yeah, have all kind of like predicted certain things about the future. You know, of like what this kind of weird, like, especially like the 80s did a lot of future stuff, of like an 80s view of the future, which was just bizarre. But like by now, according to Back to the Future, we had flying cars this year. Well, that's kind of what made me think about it, really. Is I saw an article about it and stuff that Back to the Future predicted and stuff that they were wrong about. And I'm really gassy. It's all this Pepsi. So yeah, I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking, so what bits do you think are gonna happen
From Back to the Future?
From anything that's been predicted, like all these kind of, we kind of just assume that in the future we're gonna have various inventions, but we just haven't got there yet. And which ones do you think will happen? Which ones do you think will happen? And what do you think maybe might happen that we haven't thought about yet? So I'm thinking I'm going to put one on the table. That is always kind of a big part of sci-fi and stuff is teleporting. Now, that's an unusual one with teleporting.
I think that happened because you have to kill the thing at one source and rebuild it at another.
Yeah.
So even if it works, it's still fundamentally illegal.
But you don't necessarily have to teleport people. No, well, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Could
you want to teleport a book?
No, he teleports chocolate, doesn't he, in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Like objects. How good would the postal service be? How good would Amazon be if they just teleported stuff straight to your door?
Well, the more sort of like believable version of that would be stuff, because 3D printing's like becoming more thing and
it is,
everything.
yeah.
It'd be more like you went on Amazon and downloaded a file that you printed
it out,
or something along them lines. That's more feasible than actual destroying of particles and reassembly. I can't see that ever happening.
But how much? But we got a lot of time on this planet.
I know, but I'm just saying I can't see it ever happening. I don't think. No, I can't see that one happening.
Yeah. 3D printing, that is a thing, and essentially, it's not
because you have to
teleporting, but
destroy
it kind of is,
the original thing and make a copy of it. No, I don't think you can.
So it's kind of like cloning. It's kind of like.
Well, it is cloning.
It's kind of like The Prestige. Have you seen it?
I saw it at the cinema.
I won't give away the twist.
In Australia.
Go watch.
In like an awesome cinema.
Yeah.
Where it was like
and they bring
a
you
leather
meals.
sofa. Before you went into like a VIP bar, and they were like, "Oh, what drinks do you want?" I said, "Oh, I want this, one, that." And they were like, "Oh, do you want some food during the movie? Here's a menu." Real fucking ball of shit on the menu. It was like real expensive stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll have that, and that." And they were like, "Oh, what time do you want everything bring in?" So I was like,
"That's cool.
Bring that in 15 minutes in. Bring that in 27 minutes in, and bring that an hour and 11 minutes in." The times were probably well, I assume so.
That's awesome.
And they just bring it in, and you're on like this leather reclined sofa.
See, that's the future already happening here right now in Australia. That was in Brisbane. Right here in Australia.
I was in Brisbane in a place called. It had a right funny name. Don't matter, carry on.
But yeah, so yeah, in terms of
right, it was spelled Indooroopilly, but they pronounced it Indrapilly.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a feasible thing. This 3D printing thing. Well, yeah, it's kind of similar to the Prestige then, in that it's more like cloning and killing one version. That would be a way, surely, to do it. But then that's terrifying. If you cloned a person, what would the person be that lived, and what would the person be that died?
I don't think you can do it. I just don't think you can do it.
Ever.
No.
Like, ever.
No.
But then...
Because it's destroying particles, and I don't think you could do it.
Okay.
I don't think that's feasible with any amount of time. I just don't think that's feasible.
That's the thing that surely they're looking at. Like, surely with this 3D printing idea, with like...
Yeah, but that's completely separate. No, that's completely separate. 3D printing is just a file that tells a printer how many layers to do it. 3D printing's been existed since the 50s.
What do you put in? What do you restock the printer with? I don't understand. That's what I don't understand about 3D printing is. Well, what do you put in it?
There's different types. You can have like there's like a dust based type. There's super expensive ones that like. I'm not even sure how them ones work, but they sort of like cheaper ones and the ones that you build at home and stuff for like MakerBot and stuff like that. They're like it's just threads of plastic.
Okay.
It looks like what does it look like? You know, like them candy, like red vines and green vines and everything else. Like smaller versions of them, and it just goes into the machine and it's just got this rod that just. It just builds layer by layer. It does a layer, then goes on top and does a layer. But all it's doing is just making stuff where the computer's down. So this is in the 50s. It's only now that it's...
But then it's always got to be made out of plastic.
Well, there's different... Yeah, but there's different ones. There's like ones that like do metals and ones that do this and that. But they're like super, super, super expensive.
But then there's this whole thing of the really expensive ones that you print out like... You can print out all kinds of mad stuff, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to get cheaper as technology advances.
It'd be weird. That's so weird, though, isn't it, when you think about it?
Well, no, because it's exactly the same as how things are just made in a factory, but you're just doing it on small scale in the house. It's exactly the same, you know what I mean? Like, it's additive manufacturing.
It is crazy, though, if Amazon just sent you a file. And you was just like, I bought that, and then print it out. Oh, I've got the new...
Yeah, I mean, it's a way away from being that... Like they don't look great like at the moment and stuff.
But
and it's quite a problem. Like multicolored things at the moment, you can get the different colored threads and stuff like that. But it's quite complicated getting something like if you used to have like a Mario toy over there or like an Amiibo.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit awkward to do.
But that's already in motion. That's you know what I mean. Like that they're going to improve upon that. Okay. So can you think of anything then that you think will happen or that is happening right now that's been predicted?
That has to be an invention.
Has to be an invention. Oh, and it don't have to be an invention.
All right, okay. Because there's something that I've been saying for years, which is town centres won't exist anymore.
Because I agree with that.
If you look at it now, over here in England, like The big major cities they exist, but like the smaller cities like ours, Hull, there's not really a town centre anymore. There's a few shops.
The only thing that town centre seems to be thriving on, and
charity shops.
And the thing that I think it will carry on with until we can find another way around it is clothes shopping. Because I can't clothes shop. I hate clothes shopping online. I don't know what fits me. I don't know what I don't know what looks good on.
I mean, you could there's measurements. So I mean, you could measure.
There is, but I like to try stuff on and be like, oh, actually, that jacket looked good on the hanger, but when I put it on, do you know what I mean?
Like,
I like to try things on.
Like you could have a profile on, say, Amazon or a site where it's basically a full-length photo of you.
Yeah.
It's got all of your measurements in. Like when you originally sign up, for example, you could do this now. I could do. I
think it should scan you every time because my weight fluctuates.
It don't scan you. I mean, when you can go in and edit your profile, say, and you just do a set of measurements, and then it says, right, these things fit, and then you can click, right, what does this one look like, and it just imposes. I could do that now.
I still don't have that same thing of putting it on and being like, and like looking around and like.
No, but you can get to a very close to that. But when rent's going up all the time for shops, and less people are going to shops to buy things,
you're gonna have to find another way around.
Businesses can't thrive like that. Like, even stuff like pubs and stuff like that you can't really recreate at home, have a drop in because people can't smoke at pubs now, and it's cheaper obviously to buy alcohol and
anywhere else. Yeah. Well, all right, we're in the future, aren't we?
Well,
what about some form of hologram?
We're always in the present.
That sends you can hologram the clothes on you. And
there's all stuff like that. That's sort of seemingly possible.
Holograms are a thing now.
In fact, you could effectively these things exist, and these things are done with 3D printing.
Yeah.
In fact, I believe at some point in Disney World in Florida, you could take a girl, your young girl or whatever, and there's a thing called a 3D scanner.
Take a girl. Grab a girl.
Grab a girl. There's a thing called a 3D scanner where basically it just
I've seen
scans
it.
you. Yeah, I mean you can do it with a handheld thing. You know what I mean? It works out and propagates where you are in relation to the thing in it. Kind of how them panoramic photos work on iPhone, but better. And they're about $1,000 now, but I mean they're coming down in price. For a cheaper one, they can go all the way up to tens of thousands. But there's no reason why you couldn't do that and create a 3D model of yourself, or even with measurements and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's on there, and you can literally spin yourself around. What do I look like in these clothes?
Yeah, that's probably better.
That could be done now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what do I look like from this angle? This angle. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think we'll still have some farms. I don't think we'll have town centres anymore. Like food shops or something as well. That I don't like food shopping online. I can never get myself to that because I like walking up and down aisles and stuff. I still think we'll have food shops, like little local shops. But will still be a thing.
And another thing, like with them clothes, like it could have algorithms that are programmed and take things from like proper designers and stuff like that, where they can say, right, your proportions would suit these clothes better.
Yeah,
you would look better
like
in these clothes.
Shopper,
you would, but it could do that automatically just with figures. You know what I mean? It's right, horizontal stripes are going to wear here and this and that, and right, this colours and these colours are going to complement your skin.
Should we scrap Nintendo Sushi and just do that?
I mean, yeah, it's doable.
Let's do it. So
it'd be expensive and a pain, but it'd be doable.
I mean, it's stuff like we've got flying cars now. Like it's an actual thing that's happening. We've got like on Back to the Future, he uses an iPad. Like, have you seen that scene where he comes over and he's got like an iPad?
Of course I've seen it.
We use it. Like we use that now, and 3D movies were predicted in Back to the Future. We use them now.
There was something that looks exactly like an iPad in Star Trek as well.
Yeah, so all this stuff, like, it seems like we had a pretty good grasp on. I mean, some stuff was just crazy, but a lot of it's obviously like not written like we think this will happen. It's like wouldn't it be cool if this happened?
I mean, like with the 3D car, obviously.
3D car.
Oh, cars the 3D. With the flying car and stuff. I think they're about $250,000.
Yeah.
Only available for a select few, and they're impressive technology there. And they're getting there with the fuel, like because the fuel consumption before they sort of like looked at using the Wankel rotary engine, the actual fuel consumption was ridiculous to get anywhere. Now I think they maybe do around 30 or maybe 15, somewhere between 15 and 30. I can't remember. Like miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Now. And it's as technology progresses, obviously.
Well,
that
200
stuff can
years.
come down.
Like,
I don't know.
In 200 years,
I'm saying
that will be a thing, mate. It's crazy.
Like people, whenever always said, about the town centre and everything, people's like, no, always this. I'm saying, yeah, but look, just 10 years ago, most people didn't use the internet.
Yeah.
The majority, like old people, young people. Now the internet's here. It's in my hands.
Everywhere,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and it's not just website. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Like, and look how the town centre has changed in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Since Amazon came along and these sites.
I can go
we keep
into
saying
town.
Amazon, but every kind of online site. Just look how the face has changed just in 10 years.
Yeah.
Times that by 50. You know what I mean? And what
Well, like, I can go into town now on a Saturday and not have to queue up once in a shop.
you don't.
You know what I mean? Like, because people don't do it.
At Christmas, I just go on Amazon and go, bam, 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 I love them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's more reliable. It's usually cheaper.
It's less of a pain.
It's less
you just
of a
go
pain,
right
yeah.
off that.
Yeah.
Done.
So
I think what we'll see more of, which they do in America in certain states, in certain places, in certain states, is same day delivery.
yeah,
Because I feel like the delivery, if the town setting's devolving, like becoming redundant, and the online space is evolving, the delivery service needs to evolve with that, or else it's just going to stalemate. And I feel like one day delivery is not far off. I mean, like on Amazon Prime now, I can order something at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night,
the next morning.
and I can click have it before 1 p.m. tomorrow.
And I always think with that as well is, like, if we're taking away these town centres, there's factories now. Like, we can have factories everywhere, so that they are literally an hour away from you most of the time. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean warehouses.
Warehouses, not factories. Yeah,
I was going to say, freaking
yeah.
hell. Oh, I
It'll
want
become-
a car. Right? I'll just fucking
Build it.
Get 7,000 people in to fucking rush build a car in 6 hours.
But yeah, like, there'd be warehouses everywhere, like, because obviously all them resources and all that stuff. So they would, it would be more than feasible. In fact, I think it might even get there in 10, 15 years. I think we won't be far off that. So
It'll come within the next 5 years on selected items and selected.
Yeah.
It's already here in like New York and LA. And
like, if I was... No, I don't just mean that. I mean the whole thing that we're talking about. Like, I think if I was owning a shop at the minute now, I'd be worried. Like, if I was Mr. Top Man. I'd be
I
worried.
mean, like, all shops need to evolve and create experiences rather than...
That's the... Yeah,
which
it's the
is how
same.
they do that,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true. It's kind of like, I'm going to bring this back to Nintendo, but it's kind of like what Nintendo are doing, where they're like, right, the online digital seems to be what everyone's buying. Let's make these amiibo toys. Like,
Yeah, no, but I feel like this is putting a bandage on a fucking
okay, yeah.
shotgun wound.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah. He's prolonging it a little
That's
bit.
not an
but-
experience. That's, again, you can get them from Amazon. In
That's
fact,
true,
have
yeah.
you bought any of them from a physical store?
Yes.
I
I've bought one of them, which is Luigi.
Okay. Oh, I bought all of mine off Amazon.
I bought all the rest of Amazon. So, but I did get
you know what I
Luigi
mean? It's not an
from game.
experience. The Nintendo are trying to make retailers happy.
Yeah.
I feel with them. What I mean by an experience, I don't even know what I mean, but something needs to what you can't physically, what you can't get on an app, which everything you can get on an app now, like that's provided in this store. Apart from I think the very, very top end stuff will maybe, but if we're talking 1,000 years, then no, it's gonna be different. Like your house is gonna change. The way you interface with technology already. I can fucking text my thermostat and say, oh, warm up, I'm on the way home. I can fucking text a kettle and say, no, boil, I'm on my way. You know what I mean?
Stuff like that, yeah.
So it's like, but then that's going to evolve even further.
1,000 years, you could be a point where you have to just think it.
Yeah, I mean, the like connection and the interface with technology is going to become part of us. Like Google Glass is the first step where everything's built into some glasses, but then you take that one step further, and it's something you wear, like discreetly. You take that one step further, and it's some sort of chip. You know what I mean? Like it's
that'd scare me though. Do you know, like if you could just think, I want to buy a PlayStation 4, and it's like it's on your way because the amount of times.
But then do people become more stupid because they've got access to information? Like now, if someone asks me a question I don't know, I'll Google it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is easy because I reach down my phone.
You don't need to learn it. Yeah.
In fact, I don't even need to type it anymore. So all right, Google, show us. like how old's the oldest chicken or whatever.
That's true,
But
then
like if that's built into your head constantly,
Mm.
you never have to think for yourself. Apart from like existential questions
Yeah.
and this and that, and so I feel like as far as we're going with technology, I feel like society is coming down more because shopping was a joint experience. I'll meet you in town.
So what you're
at
trying to say
3
is
o'clock.
iRobot could potentially happen.
No, Will Smith will be dead by then.
He will. Where we all become so we rely so much on technology that when anything breaks, we're screwed.
No. I'm saying like communication.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like meeting up. Just I mean like the interaction.
Yeah, but
that
then
drops.
imagine if that was then taken away and people were then stupid and couldn't interact very well with each other. It would really mess things up.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like I feel like it's already happened now.
Mm.
From when I was a kid, people used to come around to my house, we'd chat and play games.
Yeah.
Now you stay at your home, you go online. Even stuff like that, like I'm saying now, if I wanted to buy something, I'd ring like 4 or 5 minutes, right? I'll be in town at 2 o'clock. I'll see that.
Yeah.
Like I'd ring on a landline because we didn't have mobiles.
Yeah.
Didn't exist.
Or you go and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd leave a message on the home answer phone.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? You didn't know what time they were getting back, so you couldn't text them and say,
Yeah.
"Dude, where are you? What time are you back?" It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's fucking roulette. So, like now I feel like the interaction's gone down. I feel like more people are a lot more insular and secluded and less social. And unless something's done like about that, I feel like that's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Possibly. And the reason why I don't think anything will be done about it is because it's profitable to the people who are doing it.
And it's faster and easier.
It's faster, easier, more profitable. And
And I
people aren't
feel
going
like-
to say, we can do this, but we won't do it because it's not good.
I feel like all the
we'll just do
biggest
it.
inventions and the biggest creativity, like thinking wise, has already been done. Because as further as we go into the future, the more technology's assisting with that,
Yeah.
with calculations, we're working stuff out, we're doing this,
Yeah.
we're doing that. That I feel like all of our greatest inventions, where you're like, fucking hell, where did that come from? Like
Yeah.
going from sand to a computer chip.
Yeah.
Why did you invent that? What
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like all that stuff is like, and all the major inventions, like stuff's gonna become less inventive and more additive and like evolution based. Like, but I feel like the computers are gonna aid in that. One other thing, like what I want to say about the future, is I had some fucking baller
Was
come
it
into my
about
brain.
health?
No, nothing to do with health. You just talk for a bit.
Well, I was thinking, let's ask Siri. Let's ask technology what's going to happen in the future. If it's going to work. See, this is the other thing about technology. It doesn't always work. What is going to happen in the future?
Here's some news for future.
Is Meghan Trainor's dear future husband a video sexist?
Exactly.
So we're not quite there yet with technology.
No.
Um,
It's something really fucking pertinent to say. I mean, like, obviously, like, communication and, like, everything like that has made the world smaller, which is only a good thing. I feel like there may be, like, a breakdown of governments and where we maybe share laws are, like, worldwide rather than
Yeah.
country-based. And,
yeah, I mean, the world's becoming smaller. It has been, again, the last 10 years, you know, I can now communicate with someone in Canada at the click of a button.
the interview we did with Sam,
The interview you did with Sam,
she lives in Montreal.
yeah.
We was talking one-to-one, and it was just like we was in the room together, having a chat.
And I think that on a larger scale, you know, where people can communicate and people can go, like...
Right. Okay, the way I see the commerce like going is the fact that in starting now, but more in 10, 20, 30, 40 years time, when the kids growing up now, YouTube exists and everything like that exists to them already, they're born into that. People will less wait for companies and everyone will be their own business.
Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't. I feel
all.
like that's going back to our like caveman roots,
yeah.
where like he's got a skill, he does that.
Yeah.
She's got a skill, you know what I mean? And I feel like everyone will be providing entertainment,
Yeah.
like to each other, or providing a product or a service. And this is happening now, like with Kickstarter and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's just going to go like more where you don't just go to a office and work from 9 to 5 and come home, because lots of stuff like that can be automated and done by computers. It could be done now,
But then there's stuff like services, where it's gonna always have to be a full, like the hospitals, police. Like you can't be like, oh, I'll do, like you couldn't be your own surgeon. You know what I mean? Who just on his own is like.
But I mean, like there's robots now doing operations.
There is, yeah, but I think that
more accurately than
the whole like
surgeons.
NHS or whatever various thing is gonna have to exist as an overlooker of.
No,
like,
but I'm on about like
fields.
general businesses, because even like now robot cars and stuff exist, like, and they're being developed by Google and Apple and all these companies. So stuff like we're saying, the warehouse and delivery, it's easier for a robot to go, right, he's just ordered fucking, I don't know, some parsnip tortoise shells, right? So it goes, right, that's on row fucking 50,080 thing. This is done. Fucking
giant vending machine.
Yeah, well,
can it look like a giant vending machine as well?
No, but essentially it would be that. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that exists in health now. You know, like when you go to a pharmacy and you're like, oh, I need some fucking whatever you need, Viagra,
give me
whatever.
some drugs.
Then a robot does that already.
Yeah,
so it's just that on a bigger level, and then that could distribute to like cars that are robot like sent out. And like come to your door, because then you're not worrying about like crashes will go down, because it's all, you know what I mean, and like people falling asleep throughout the night having to do long deliveries and stuff like that, and like all this stuff. When you look at the big picture side of things, it's not like, oh, it'd be cool to have robot cars, it'd be cool to flying cars, it'd be cool to, no, the whole everything we know about the world is changing now.
But that's terrifying.
Like, is it? Or is it good that everyone can be their own expression?
No, it's good in that sense, but like you're saying about factories that are robots and like that can send stuff straight to the door, like people aren't gonna have jobs. Like
that's what I'm saying. Everyone's gonna be their own.
Everyone's going to have to do that though. Otherwise, because there's no work in shops. There's no work in even in a factory. Once the factory's built, it just gets on with its own thing. Look at it
now. Like there's no jobs now. People are, the unemployment's high and it's everything and all that stuff. Yeah, you look at us. Look at loads of people who have their own internet-based things, and they're just single people. And some of them are making more money than huge empires.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we're not. You can help us out at nintendosushi.com/Cooper Club.
Please do.
You know what I mean? Like this whole. People are like individual people are businesses and empires now, and it just needs time for this stuff to be taught in schools, and this stuff like where the kids are growing up with this technology already existing.
Yeah.
I can't see Layla ever going and working a 9 to 5 job.
No.
My daughter, for new listeners, she's 3.
That's true. But that's in some ways that's quite scary, because then there's going to be. The internet's going to be this, everyone like almost begging for money. It's going to be because I don't feel it'll be like that. I don't think it'll be like that. I feel like more like people are going to be able to, there's that much stuff out there, people are going to be able to get their own information. I'm not just talking about everything's entertainment, like everything's their own service. Like artists can be free to be artists and supply art for people, and you know what I mean, like things like that. It's like it's interesting.
That's already happening with stuff like Patreon, YouTube, and everything like that. So.
Yeah.
Should we end that there anyway? So it's quite long.
Let's do it.
Cool. Right. So my topic.
Siri.
Is my topic is what do you do like when you feel ill? Have you got like any sort of like
Take tablets?
No, like any sort of like rituals or things that you do.
I dance around a fire until my cold goes away.
I'm not talking about like Indian fucking potions and shit.
What rituals
I mean
like
just stuff you do when you're ill, like you know what I mean.
So like passing the time.
Yeah, well, like if you woke up today and you was is there certain things that you do, or you know what I mean, or like when you was at school.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
The school sick days.
Let's talk school sick days. Yeah, we'll talk school sick days.
I used to come downstairs and watch Bad Boys 2 with my dad.
That's weird.
That's a weird one, isn't it? But every time, and school sick days always meant that I could take my quilt downstairs on the couch. Like that was just a thing. Like I'm not staying in bed all day. I'll take my quilt to the couch. That's a big difference.
Why was he never at work? He was a police officer.
I don't know. Bad Boys 2. It was he was doing research.
Research.
It was homework. Yeah, I watched Bad Boys 2. Or I'd watch the original Star Wars series. Like, it's just like these films. Jumanji, when I was really young. Like, Jumanji was a really good sick day film. Like, it was that, and if I was like... I used to have this thing with my parents there that I'd be ill, right? And they'd be like, well, if you're that ill, you can't play on computer games or whatever, you can't go on your PlayStation. So I had to watch films. Like, I'm so ill, I can't do this, but I can watch a film. So it was that. But I remember once, I was ill and I was off school, and I'd bought off a catalogue, before the days of the internet shopping that I was talking about earlier, I bought from a catalogue Hercules on PlayStation 1, the side-scroller. It's really good. And every time you get health, it goes, Hercules! Yeah, I bought that. And the thing with catalogue buying is, as well, is it could come any time in the next 28 days. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a case of, like, it'll come 5 to 10 working. It was like, it'll come at some point, hopefully this month. But I was ill on the day that it arrived, right? And I remember being like... Because, like, mum coming and giving it to me and being like, you're not very well, but this has just come. And I was like, I feel a bit better. Oh, you can go to school. Not, like, school better, but, like, Hercules better.
Yeah.
So then I watched Hercules the film, you know, just to get me, like, ready. And then I played Hercules. And I love that game. Like, that was awesome. But yeah, that was kind of my routine when I was off school as a kid. It was Jumanji, when I was really young. It was Star Wars. Sometimes the Back to the Future trilogy. I'd watch trilogies of films. You know, because you could be like, I'll watch the first 2 in the morning, then I'll have some dinner. Like I'll have some soup or whatever. And then I'll watch the last one, and then everyone will be coming home from school at that time. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was kind of how I did it when I was really young. I've got other ones that I want to talk about as well, but I'll let you talk for a bit first.
No, you go.
Well, I recently had a knee operation last year, and I was, like, bedbound for 3 weeks. Like, completely couldn't do anything. I managed to do the podcast. I don't know how. Oh, it was audio then when it wasn't video, because that would have been interesting. So, yeah, I was bedbound, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I can't remember which game it was that I ended up playing. I think it might have been Infamous Second Son. And I played the hell out of Infamous Second Son. I completed Infamous Second Son. And I played the Battlefront... That was it. I played the Battlefront games on PS2. Battlefront 1.
Did you play Killzone as well?
No, that was before then.
Oh.
That was before then. I played Battlefront 1 and 2 on PS1. And just, like, I love them games. And I was just that obsessed. And the thing with the Battlefront 2 especially, like, Battlefront 2 is harder than 1. And I remember it just being like 2 in the morning and being like, I need to do it. Like, it had that kind of like, oh, I can do it this time factor to it. There's the Battlefront, especially when you do it on the hardest level. So I just played the crap out of the Battlefront games and ended up watching the Star Wars trilogy. So I kind of haven't really changed. No. To be honest.
Well, I've got like a couple of different things. So let me take you back to 1997.
Okay. We're there.
Probably November.
All right.
1997, maybe very early December 1997.
Okay.
So Tomb Raider 2 had just come out, and
it's a good time
I was rehearsing for the Nativity play.
Okay.
Well, actually, it was. I must have been. I think I was in the choir for it.
All right.
So I had like choir rehearsals or whatever, and was on stage or whatever, and I was doing the high male choir.
All right. Yeah.
So.
He was a tenor.
Yeah. So incidentally, how much the tickets cost? Didn't. Be way too much for a school Nativity.
Especially then.
Yeah. So I was doing the choir parts and everything, and I was like, fucking hell, I feel like, you know, when you just feel full on dangerous.
Yeah.
When like
you get real
like,
hot and you start
man,
feeling a bit
sick,
drowsy
like, dizzy and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be sick, but I want sick. And I was like, oh fuck. So like we finished the song.
I'd love it if you were sick there. If it was like, and all the air doing the high five, all over the choir.
Hallelujah. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to bail to office, which the hall was right kind of where
Yeah.
the office was. So I went out there and went to the office, and I was like full on white, like I'm normally black.
Angel Gabriel.
a normal black, normally black, but no, I was like full on like pale, and so I went to the office and they're like,
It's
"Oh,
the
we're
ghost
gonna
of
ring
Christmas past.
you." Yeah, because I used to all the time as a kid, and it still happens sometimes now. I used to get dehydrated all the time because you know how much I need to drink just to
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
survive as a human being.
You must drink, not exaggerating, 15 pints of water a day.
Probably more.
Probably
more. Yeah, that'd only be like one every. More. Like I just
You
have
probably
to
drink
like,
3 every hour.
Constantly. Yeah, I have to drink constantly, like water,
Madness.
just pints of it.
Yeah,
I've never not been thirsty in my life.
that's bizarre.
Like if I've drink a pint of water and I'm like, I'm still thirsty, but the only reason I only drink like 2 or 3 an hour is just because it's a fucking pain in the ass.
It's a lot of time. Yeah.
So yeah, but I didn't know this then. You know,
Mm.
I was only a kid, and I like nearly passed out or whatever. And I went, and there was one time when I did like fully pass out at school from not drinking enough water. And so they rang my mum came, and picked me up, and I remember sat outside the office, and my mum came in. And again, it was a similar situation where Electronics Boutique catalog.
Catalog.
We'd ordered the game out of there, which I think GameSpot is Electronics Boutique
Oh, okay.
over there, or it
Yeah.
used to be, or something
Yeah.
like that in America. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, so I ordered that, and again, it was like it's just I don't fucking know when it's coming,
Yeah.
and I didn't have this in my head at all. But my mum was. It had come that day.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it'd come out.
Yeah, you had no way of knowing.
No way of knowing. But my mum was just adamant. I'd thrown a sickie just to go home and play this. So I went home and played it.
Mm.
And I remember just playing the house level for
Yeah.
about.
It's not even
4
a
hours.
level. It's just a hub.
But
to
I'd
explore.
started right going home right, and I played it for about 4 hours,
Mm.
and I was like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
How do you finish it? Because obviously you can't, but I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
assumed like it was a level
Yeah.
thing. And I was like, fucking hell, I'm stuck. So like, I was like, all right, cool, I'll turn it off or whatever. And then I went back on it, and then noticed on the...
You clicked on the passport. Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway.
That bit. Yeah, on that bit. Yeah, and I went and clicked on the passport, new game, whatever, the green font.
Mm.
And then it come in with the on the helicopter.
Yeah. It's like police academy, yeah.
And then like it landed on the all that crap, which is like where she's going down the road, gets on the thing, and then you go down the thingy, you fall down that cliff, and then you're greeted straight away by a lovely little tiger.
I love the little tiger.
Fucking blast the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I was fucking loving that. And then for seriously about 3 hours, I was just in that pond bit.
Oh, you didn't know how to climb up the cliff?
No, and I was like, I just didn't know what to do.
You were shit at games as a kid.
Yeah, no, I was really good at 2D games. It was the 3D,
The 3D
transition.
that
I was
did,
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So
Should've played
I was
Haikus.
kind of like swimming around in the water for a bit, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like trying to run and jump up stuff, but I just back
And every
down,
time you
like,
do that, a new tiger comes.
No, it doesn't. No, what happens is once you have to go, as soon as you go up, you climb up the first set of thingies and jump across the first.
Yeah.
What is it? That's when the second tag comes, and there's only 2.
But you never got up to that point.
No.
All right.
So I didn't even get up to there. So like my eldest brother was like a half brother or whatever. I think he had the game or something, and like so later on, like after I've been playing it for hours and hours, my dad was like, "Oh well, he'll have finished school now. We'll ring him up." So he rang up.
I love
and
the
it
way the
was
full
like-
family was involved in this
Yeah,
problem. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, you just go up there and jump across that thing." And then because the controls were awful, it took me forever to like jump
Yeah.
across and then. But like a few weeks in, like I beat the game and
Yeah.
like I fucking beat that game 1,000 times. I used to love that
Yeah,
game.
I beat it
was amazing.
recently.
Recently. You didn't beat it, did you?
I've nearly beat it, yeah.
Yeah,
I
fucking
stopped
liar.
before the end because I played Metal Gear Solid instead.
Yeah, so yeah, I went through and beat it. Not then, but yeah. So that was kind of one, and then there was one where like I was in hospital as a kid. Well, I was 14, and I needed like half my bowel removing.
Yeah.
I was like the surgeon reckoned I was like 20 minutes from dying. Like when I first went in, I'd like passed out and shit loads of times, and like my mum was like, "Oh, you're fine. Here's a Rennie Rapide," you know, one of them like stomach acid things. I munched packs of them, not thingy. So anyway, when I went in, and then I was in the A&E, and you know they come and ask, because when I was a kid, like I never admitted I was in pain. You know, what I mean? I was like tough guy and everything, and like so she came and she was like, "Oh, so what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?" Really, it was fucking a million because I was dying.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, 3, 4. So they put me to the bottom of the list. Because he's pain 3. What the fuck? So I was like sat for hours and hours and hours waiting, and they had to do like an emergency operation on me. And I was a few minutes from dying, and so they did this, and then I was in hospital for 6 weeks. For the first 4 weeks I couldn't get out of my bed because I did a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Sorry.
And
like training for the choir.
Like using your ab muscles to get out was like just over sick. Drink plenty of water.
Yeah.
Was like fucking havoc on me. And so I literally I was just in a room by myself. At first I was in what's it called?
Intensive care?
Yeah, intensive care with like morphine on a fucking thing which I keep pressing. And then I went into my own like private little room, but there was like my bed would say it was against this wall here, and for audio listeners it's just the way I'm sat. Well, my TV was on the same wall but like in the top left hand corner on like this shitty angle. Like so like it was the most painful thing to see it.
Yeah.
And I remember watching some episode of Friends was on like one night when I couldn't sleep or something like that, and it was that one where like the Christmas foal or Christmas mole or something, like where you couldn't get like a Father Christmas outfit.
The holiday armadillo. Yeah.
And because I was ill and like because I was ill and couldn't laugh, that fucking pissed me off. Like I was pissing myself laughing.
Because it's a really funny episode as well.
And I was I was in so much pain, and I couldn't reach the remote to turn it off, and it became like funny or whatever. So that was like premiering on that night or whatever. And then, in fact, it was 2000. It was September the 11th when I came out of hospital.
Yeah, when you came out,
and I remember like going home and watching September the 11th happen on TV, and I was like, fucking hell. But yeah, so I don't even know what I did for 4 weeks, because the last 2 weeks I could go to the kids' room thing where they had like an SNES with Toy Story, because they had a PlayStation and a TV, but that had been nicked. So it was like, oh, I think
Toy Story's alright. I like that.
We've got like an SNES. I'd not played it up until that
Toy
point.
Story's alright.
I'd not played it. Like
Toy Story 2 on PlayStation 1 was an amazing game.
So there was that, and what other game did they have? Mario Kart. So I just like balled on them.
Don't know why he was complaining.
But I could only go down there for like an hour at a time or something like so. I don't really know what I did at that point.
Okay.
And then there was a point. There's a point I was in hospital. There's a point I was in hospital, like 2 years ago or something like that. Oh, my stomach was bleeding, and I was in hospital. I had my own private room. And Bew, who used to be on the show, did you come and see me?
I came and see you a few times.
Well, Bew used to come.
I brought you colouring books.
You did bring me colouring books. Bew came like at the like 3 o'clock, you know.
Yeah, visiting town.
And would bring me Fosters. I was in hospital, and he'd like sneak it in a bag or whatever, and I'd like hide it like beside my bed and drink Fosters during the day. It was just fucking boring. What else do you do?
Well, you was all on like morphine and all that, and you for some reason you couldn't believe your luck with colouring books.
Oh, couldn't I?
You kept saying that's what you kept asking for, and I had to go and get you some Disney Princess colouring books. So I went and brought them for you, and then the next day you'd done them all. No, you had. You'd spent, I don't know if it was the morphine or what, but you'd spent hours doing colouring books and dot to dot and all that. To be fair, I'd do that. I'd do that now. If I could spend a day just
that was the name of the person seeing me.
Dr. Dot.
So and then some bed like I'd not spoke to for fucking 8 years or something. Like text me out the blue, and she was like, "How are you doing?" She was like, "I'm back from Newcastle," because she'd moved to Newcastle. she was like, I was like, well, actually, I've just come into hospital or whatever. And she was like, I'll come visit you. And then, I don't know if I've ever told this story.
I know this story. You haven't told it on the
before.
podcast, no.
Well, it's a bit long to go into, innit?
You end up sneaking out of the hospital with that girl, didn't you?
Yeah, and then like they were like calling my parents, like he's left. We don't know where he is.
He's ran away and all that. Yeah.
And I slept with that girl in
The hospital
bed, and
I worry about her morals.
she was lovely. And if she's listening, which I doubt it,
Yeah.
I left my watch at your house like the week after the hospital. I kind of slept at hers.
Yeah.
Like I left my watch, so if you could return my penguin watch, I'd be really happy. But so yeah, and then the doctors came to take me down for some sort of like operation or something, like literally as we was finishing, and they were like open the door and like I put her under like the covers real quick. She was like next to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was just having a cuddle like before I got down. She was like, all right, I'll give you 2 minutes. And I'll get
God.
dressed real quick. So yeah, that was a bit weird
Yeah.
hospital trip.
So that's what you do at hospital. I play Hercules and watch Star Wars.
I drink and fuck Sliz.
Cool. Right.
Right, so shall we go to the old
The Brethren.
the inbox?
Yeah.
The brethren. Do you know what as well? I feel like I'm being a bit sexist. It should be brethren and sistren.
Okay.
Because I looked up the terminology for brethren for listeners, and it means brothers.
Okay.
So sistren is
Yeah,
sister.
yeah.
So brethren and sistren. Although this is a brethren, so we won't be
Okay.
sexist, so. Right, okay, so let me go to my email.
Good.
Here we go. Hey there, boyos. I've been listening. I've been listening to your show for ages. It's nice to see your show on YouTube and everything now as well. My friend and I were chatting when we was off to Mackie D's the other day, McDonald's for people who don't know. And thought I'd throw the question to you. If you could make a themed restaurant, what would it be? Thanks, guys. Give it the good work, Steve.
That's interesting.
Hello, Steve.
All right, Steve.
Hey,
All right,
boyo,
mate.
Steve.
All right, boyo.
Boyo.
Okay, so themed restaurant. That's quite an interesting one. I mean, obviously, I think most of my themed restaurants I could come up with are probably in Tokyo. Probably already exist somewhere in Tokyo. But what about, all right,
Didn't I come up, the one we, like, didn't I mention something the other day? I was like, oh, was that in my head?
we drove past a restaurant the other day and you said something about it. And it was some...
Oh, no, I was making... yeah, it doesn't matter. That was
Alright.
some sort of weird...
All right, what about a... Didn't I them sushi conveyor belt?
They
What
have them
about
all over.
what about a Donkey Kong version of that? Donkey Kong themed, where he just...
Like the pies.
yeah,
the pie
yeah,
level.
yeah, like the pie level, yeah. And you could have pie... There could be a dessert one and a main course one.
I know it's concrete for everyone who's saying
Yeah.
it's concrete, not pies.
And he puts the sushi on the thing and it goes down a conveyor belt to the people.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Constant Donkey Kong music playing. Or what about... I mean, I want to see a Zelda themed one. I think that'd be really cool. Different like areas, you know, different Zelda levels in different parts.
Mine's
of the
called
restaurant.
limbs.
Alright.
And the beer pumps are different arms and legs and shit.
Okay. Well, the theme is just limbs.
Yeah.
So what? Just that's like so it's like the Clockwork Orange milk bar, essentially.
If you want.
This is quite a hard one to do really. To think of just off the top of your head, like what's a good themed restaurant?
Slippers.
Okay.
Where everyone wears slippers.
Oh, like a chilled out one where you got to come in pajamas.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's called PJs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, and you got to come in pajamas. And what do they serve? Like, what's the menu?
Horlicks.
Horlicks. So there's
warm milk, chocolate milk.
there should be beds, and you should be able to pay.
Yeah, this
This is more of a
there's
hotel.
Like, no, because they're like sort of chill out areas that look like beds, but they're not.
Okay.
Really. And they've got like video games consoles, so you can sort of just chill.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Or they've got like.
They should have like video games console and like DVD players and stuff set up, but you can bring your own if you want.
Yeah, you can do
like
what
just
you
bring
want.
a film, put it in, and they just serve you and bring you like hot chocolate and
PJs coming to a town near you.
PJs sounds awesome. PJs sounds really cool, and they should sell their own PJs. PJs.
Yeah. Because if you're just out and about and you're like, oh, let's go in PJs. And
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's going to cost you £5 for some PJs.
Yeah, and they sell you.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed shoes. You're not allowed.
No,
that's-
you're not allowed to look.
No jeans
respectable.
allowed, please,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, and if you can have parties there.
PJ party.
PJ parties,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a real good one.
Or it could be called slumbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Different names for different needs.
Well, they've done recently, haven't they? They've done the cereal restaurant or the cereal bar, which I think that's
there's
quite
a
a cereal bar.
crisp bar as
It's
well.
a crisp bar.
No, a crisp sandwich shop where they just sell crisp sandwiches. That's all they sell.
That's a pretty good one.
Crispies.
I'd love to go to one of them. Although, how much money would you really make owning that place? Like, you'd make a bomb, like a box of cereal, like £3 or whatever.
I want a place called Crab Sally's, and there's just live crabs running about, but they've got different coloured shells, and you go, oh, I've just been nipped by a old yellow, and then the woman who owns it, called Crab Sally, she comes out and goes, yellow!
What do you eat? Do you eat the one that gets you?
You don't eat them, that's not cruel.
Oh, okay.
They're just there.
All right, they're just there
They
attacking
don't even
you.
do food.
Yeah, they don't even do food. You just sit down and get eaten by crabs.
Yeah, welcome to Crab Sally's! Green! Like that.
All right, fair enough. A technology one that's really cool. Robot Saviour.
No, I've got one called Rollers, where there's a few different things you could do for rollers.
Alright.
But mine is, it's like roller coaster themed, right?
And you got to eat on the roller coaster.
No, but there's tracks everywhere and your drinks come like on a track.
On a
like-
roller. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And it comes round like a.
Yeah. And like, everything's all connected and shit. Cool. I got one called Train Tracks.
All right.
It's the same, but everything comes on a train, but everyone has to wear like a choo-choo hat and like, oh, can I have a steamy Joe, please? And they go, yeah, there you go.
And like, it got a smoky Joe.
Yeah.
It comes round on a train.
Yeah.
I think that roller coaster idea sounds awesome.
Here's
That'd be
one
a
called
really good
Webbies, right?
Alright.
It's like a horror theme bar, like webs around and shit.
Horror themed. Would
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah. And everything's in like goblets that smoke and shit. And like, oh, welcome to Webbies. There's like a
Yeah.
dude at the front door.
There'd be an old all the servers have got to be old creepy butlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Webbies.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, how could Halloween be at Webbies?
Yeah.
That's the
Made
place
for
to
it.
be, innit, for Webbies.
It looks like the Addams Family house, basically.
Yeah. All right, what about... Oh, right, medieval times.
Like that place in Florida.
Yeah, well, there's like loads in there. It's like a massive chain thing where you go and you eat and like you watch a thing. That, but with different game themes, like Mortal Kombat. So you sit and watch like someone get their like spleen ripped out and like finish him and all that. That'd be cool. Live Mortal Kombat going on as you eat. That'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any more.
Here's one called Middle Toes, where
Alright.
everyone goes in, they have to put elastic band on the middle toe. At the end of the night, whoever's the most blue wins.
Here's one called Eye Patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone that goes in has to stick the finger in their eye for the full time that they're eating the starter. And if they need an eye patch, then they get a free drink. Here's one called Flappy Times. And
Happy times.
yeah, and you're not allowed to use your legs or your arms to eat, so you've just got to kind of like, and everything's got to be like broken, so like you get stuff that you're not allowed a knife and fork either, so you've got to like slam everything with your head to break it up so you can eat it in bite-sized pieces.
Okay. Cool.
Here's one called Butt Cheeks.
Here's one called Hazelberry.
You get sluts they've got to feed you everything using the butt cheeks.
Or you could have like one that inside looks like some sort of mad like...
Inside of someone's body.
No. That'd be alright for limbs, wouldn't it? But
That's what it's lived.
inside,
You walk
like
in the arsehole.
it looks like some sort of like New York street
Okay.
inside.
Yeah.
It's called Streets.
It's called In the Streets.
No, that's what you do when you're there. And there's just like hookers and like dodgy like drug dealers and
Can
shit.
we call it Wolf of Wall Street? And there's
No.
just a pack of wild dogs that just run around and destroy
I think
everyone's
this has
meat.
really run its course.
Yeah,
now.
I think it has. Yeah. So, we'll leave that one there. Right, if you want more of us, go to nintendosushi.com/Cuba Club. where you can pay for a subscription to get extra shows and things early and Skype conversations with us, all these other things. Check us out on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share everything that we do. Talk to us in the comments. We'll always reply. And, of course, buy our merch, such as this In the Streets t-shirt, which is my catchphrase. This one or this one, we had a bit of a competition who could draw the best. Buy this bad boy, or many of the others, like these hats that we're both wearing, a hat from our shops at nintendosushi.com/shop. And we'll see you for a good old meal at
Limbs.
Limbs. See you at Limbs.
Keep it
Keep it long and flappy.